The human was sleeping. The cub ruined all their clothes with its playfulness. The first uniform tore with a soft rip, and every armed alien in the doorway froze in terror. Because the human didn't wake. Outpost K-17 orbited a dead, frozen world where sleep was a liability, and predators were legends whispered in briefings. The walls were Durasteel. The guards were veterans. The alarms were tuned to the flutter of hostile heartbeats. And yet the danger was already inside. On a narrow bunk, under dim amber lights, the human lay asleep, boots kicked aside, hair messy, breathing slow and unguarded. On her chest crouched a predator cub, small, furred, razor-clawed, playful. The cub pounced again, claws sinking into folded combat fatigues stacked beside the bed, fabric shredded, buttons popped loose and skittered across the floor. The cub churred in delight, rolled onto its back and kicked with all four paws, reducing reinforced synth cloth, rated to stop shrapnel, into ribbons. A senior officer whispered, voice shaking, "That uniform costs more than my ship." Another replied, hollow, "That cub costs more than this station." Ziran cubs were not supposed to play. They were born killers, conditioned early. Curiosity beaten into discipline. Their claws dulled only by blood. And yet this one bounced. It leapt onto the human's shoulder, tugged her sleeve, chewed through rank insignia, crawled inside her jacket like a nest. The human shifted, mumbled something incoherent. Didn't strike, didn't flinch, didn't wake. The observers felt something colder than fear. Trust. "Why has it not killed her?" the Alpha demanded. A medic answered quietly, "Because it doesn't feel threatened." The Alpha's ears flattened. "Everything should threaten a cub." "Not humans," the medic said. The cub found the human's spare boots next. Claws punched straight through polymer plating. Teeth tested laces. The cub growled playfully at its own reflection in polished metal, then attacked, victorious. By morning, every piece of the human's gear lay destroyed. Armor, uniforms, gloves, even her thermal undershirt ripped apart like prey. She still slept. Then the outpost shook. Hard. Boarding alarms screamed. Hull breaches flared red across tactical displays. Enemy shock troops cut through outer corridors with practiced brutality. The observers spun. "Wake her now!" The cub was already awake. Its ears flattened, its spine arched, its playful churs vanished, replaced by a low, vibrating growl that made hardened soldiers step back. And then the human's eyes opened. No confusion. No panic. Just instant lethal clarity. In one smooth motion she rolled, grabbed the cub, and pulled it against her chest, shielding it as the wall exploded inward. Shrapnel bit into her back. She didn't scream. Enemy soldiers poured through smoke and sparks, towering, armored, confident. They saw a half-dressed human. No weapons. Blood running down her spine. They laughed. The human didn't. She moved. She used a broken bed frame as a spear, rammed it through a visor seam, twisted, pulled, dropped the body, rolled under plasma fire, snapped a knee backward until it bent the wrong way. She fought like she had nothing left to lose, because she didn't. The cub leapt from her arms mid-fight, instinct awakened by example. It wasn't refined, but it was fearless. Claws found joints, teeth found throats. The cub mirrored her movements, raw, chaotic, devastating. Together they turned the corridor into a graveyard. By the time reinforcements arrived, the fighting was over. The human stood barefoot in blood and debris, chest heaving. The cub padded back to her, tail high, eyes bright. She knelt immediately, hands gentle, checking its paws. "You okay?" she whispered. The cub pressed its head under her chin. Later, in the command chamber, the Alpha stared at the pile of ruined uniforms laid out like fallen banners. "You lost everything," he said. She shrugged. "Just clothes." The Alpha hesitated. "The cub chose you." She glanced down. The cub slept against her boot, belly exposed, utterly unafraid. "They usually do," she replied quietly. The after-action report shattered doctrines across 3 sectors. The cub's aggression increased, but so did restraint. Tactical adaptation soared. Survival projections doubled. Play had not weakened the predator. It had trained it. Ziran law was amended within the cycle. Human proximity during developmental play is no longer forbidden. It is mandatory. And a final warning was added to every galactic combat manual. If you encounter a human who sleeps without armor, if their clothes are torn by a cub that trusts them, if they wake bleeding and still choose protection over violence, retreat, because the most dangerous force in the galaxy is a human who wakes up with nothing left to lose and something they refuse to let die.